The Dark Deals event is coming in-game soon, and with it we get not only a temporary troop with a very unique ability, but we also get the Dark Crown Minion Prince epic hero equipment, and it is strong. A new event is coming, and let's have a look at it here because we have the looter wagon for the Dark Deals event. This event's going to run for about 3 weeks, so a very long event, and we do have a new troop with this event, the Debt Collector. Now, this is kind of different than any other event troop we've ever had. And the description here highlights why it's unique. It can loot more than a regular troop would. So if you want to get way more loot from an attack, bring a few debt collectors to take out the resource buildings. It obviously acts very similar to a goblin. But one of the other things that makes it truly unique is 10 debt collectors will be added to your army by default throughout the medal event. So you're going to get 10 of these in your army for free. Now, if you want to add any more, you can see the housing space there is 4, but 10 of them for free? Sick. Let's have a quick look at the pass here. I love that they keep putting the Clan Castle Cake and the Mighty Morsel in the free pass. Obviously, if you want to buy the event pass, A, use code BLUE, and B, look at how many ores you're going to get for it. It truly is, it's worth it if you can put the money into the game. Definitely would recommend it for that. And then what are we going to get for all of these medals? You guessed it, new hero equipment. And the new epic hero equipment is the Dark Crown. Now this gets better the more troops die around it. So it will improve when 60 troops have died, or 60 housing space, 120 and 180. Now, what doesn't count towards these power increases is units with no housing space, siege machines, cloned units, enemy units, and the same unit. So like if your Minion Prince goes down and you revive him, the Minion Prince dying wouldn't count to it. So everything else does. Now it seems like there's no range limit on this as well, but let's test that quickly. So I've got the Dark Crown on the Minion Prince, and I'm going to put him somewhere super safe. Yeah, let's put him all the way over here. And then we're going to put the dragons like here. And I want to try and get the dragons to go down as quickly as possible. So there is 60 troop space on the board, and we know that the Minion Prince gets bigger at 60, 120, and 180. And look at that. Despite being on the other side of the base, the Minion Prince gets bigger. Now you'll notice a problem here. The Dark Orb is insane. But when you use the Dark Orb with the Dark Crown, your Minion Prince doesn't have the ability to get a target to lock off it. Now let's try and kill 3 more dragons. I'm just going to keep my Minion Prince alive, because these 3 dragons should make the Minion Prince get even bigger again. And actually, let's put last 3 down as well. Minion Prince gets bigger. Beautiful. That's 120 troop space. Hopefully these dragons go down. I gotta force them inside the base. If they run away, they might actually live. The Minion Prince is just doing an insane amount of damage at this point. No, go inside the base, you little cheat code. How is the dragon all... Well, we're not gonna find out if... No, let's put another one down. Look at how many hit points this Minion Prince has. Ridiculous. I actually want to see something. I've got the Phoenix on the Minion Prince. Does the Minion Prince get bigger whilst in Phoenix? Because he should get bigger once more if this dragon can go down. Oh my lord. Unless I mapped that wrong. I have no idea. Regardless, Minion Prince doesn't matter. The range will get bigger, and just the output that is consistent throughout the battle, kind of insane. So for me, the really interesting talking point, and I don't really have an answer for this necessarily yet, is what are we going to pair with this Dark Crown? Because we've got the Dark Orb here. Obviously insane. It does so much slowdown, and it really reduces the amount of damage on our dragons. Now, obviously, we do want some dragons to go down for the Minion Prince to be insane, but we also don't want the dragons to go down, otherwise the Minion Prince will go down as well. So we've got the Dark Orb, and then obviously the other main target that we could use is the Henchman Puppet. Now, why I like the idea of the Henchman Puppet is because of the DPS. You get 188 extra DPS, but keep in mind, we're not just getting plus 188. We're also going to get the 30% damage increase on top of that, should we get to this final stage of the Dark Crown. And the biggest thing about the Henchman Puppet that you saw in that last attack is we've got that invisibility for 1 second, right? And that invisibility means anything that's locked onto the Minion Prince will target something else, normally the henchman. So we've got an ultra risky Dark Orb, which is insane, it's still really strong, versus a much more safe approach. So you're gonna have to pick which to go with. Obviously, if you want, you can go for the Metal Pants. Still don't really see the need for it as much when your Minion Prince is just gaining hit points the more troops die around it. But you could use this if you want, but yet again, you don't get the extra DPS with this. That's also boosted by 30%, so I think no. And then the other one is the Noble Iron. And this does get an attack speed increase. This would be insane because you get 17% and 11% on top of that. I really don't know. I think you can make a case for so many of these. Now, when I think of attack strategies that are going to complement the Dark Crown perfectly, what better attack strategy than this? And this works for multiple reasons. One, obviously the Eternal Tome is getting a rework in the near future, so you need better pathing for your dragons. How to get better pathing? Then do a 14 spell Royal Champion charge and make the funnel as tight as possible. And then obviously Dark Crown's going to work really well with the Mass Dragon army, because there's plenty of troops that are going to die in this attack, particularly if we don't bring the Dark Orb as well. It's essentially just like making the Minion Prince completely unkillable. Alright, Royal Champion steps in. Beautiful. Don't think the Town Hall should shoot in this gap. Alright, Fox is down. Do not target the other Ice Golem. Oh, you so would. Now we're going to take down the entire core of the base, because that's what Royal Champion charges do. Completely fair to the whole game. Completely fair to base defenders who have spent all their time and resources upgrading their base just for it to be neutralized without even shooting back. Okay, that was a little close. Yep, she was always going to die there. Alright, beautiful. We have a nice tight funnel for our dragons. Obviously, we're going to siege barracks. Let's just do that. I probably should have lined everything up better. I just don't really care. I don't want to let the dragons die. That's like the toss-up, right? You are letting your dragons die if you want the Minion Prince to get to a higher level. But it's not just these dragons, right? These P.E.K.K.A.s. That's why the Siege Barracks is actually going to be really nice, isn't it? The Siege Barracks is going to be so nice because that P.E.K.K.A. can go down. If this other P.E.K.K.A. goes down, we'll almost certainly get another level up. Thanks, though, to all my troops. I talked about this army having a great funnel, and I did everything but. Beautiful. Oh my lord. He's a tanky boy. I should probably funnel. Let's see. I mean, oh, the snotty is the snotty. The sneezy with the booger is so good. I mean, look, not the greatest showcase of the Minion Prince hero equipment ever, but just look at it. It never goes down. It's like a giant gauntlet that just doesn't end. Bro is so tanky, doing so much damage, shooting so quickly, and the henchman puppet just amplifies this. I mean, it's gonna be hard in this video load to tell what's the best, but I like this already. This is just the most insane damage dealer you've ever seen for the Minion Prince. We're about to do the same attack, but with a level 21 Dark Crown instead, to show you guys that you won't need to max this out to get good value with it. Because in case it wasn't obvious enough already, with the Dark Crown upgrades, all you get is the max health increase. Well, you just get all 4 of these stats slowly boosted. The 60, 120, and 180, and having 3 stages of the Minion Prince, that's the same at all levels. So I actually think this is a really good equipment where you're not going to need to max this out to get good value with it. It'll probably be rather good value once you get past level 12, particularly at the lower Town Hall levels. Now we're going to do another dragon hit here. I know some of you don't love dragons, so sorry if it isn't stimulating content for you. But this is so clearly the best army, both for the Dark Crown, but also like the Minion Prince. I just don't think the Minion Prince works incredibly with Root Riders anymore. I think the Barb King is better, particularly if you bring the Snake Bracelet. Like, I think the Snake Bracelet is better than the Dark Crown, essentially, with Root Riders. So I think you're just going to see a lot of this army if people want to use the Dark Crown. But given how broken Root Riders are at the moment, like, don't get me wrong, this hero equipment's nice, but I wouldn't recommend switching from what is so clearly the most broken hero equipment, attack strategy at Town Hall 17, just so that you can use this equipment. Like, Supercell just got to balance that, true. But we're not going to spend all day talking about things that are never going to happen. Where are you going to go, Royal Champion? Beautiful. In saying that, this attack strategy is pretty strong in its own right. Can I actually hit both? Well, I hit the sweeper. If I was aiming for the sweeper, that would have been more impressive, but oh well, here we are. Alright, we get that Minion Prince down nice and early. And let's see. Let's see how late I can wait on my Warden ability. Yet again, obviously, Warden ability, Eternal Tome getting a nerf. It's not going to affect this strategy. You're right, this strategy could almost get buffed by it, because it's an extra 0.2 seconds. And do you see, I mean, okay, that dragon, yeah, okay, that dragon probably goes down. But like, so few of the dragons go outside the Warden ability radius, because you just set an insane funnel. Now, the Minion Prince is only at stage 1, because this attack strategy is too strong. How can we get it leveled up? Oh, I just popped my Minion Prince ability because I'm used to lining up the Dark Orb, so you do need to keep that in mind. Maybe I should have run the Dark Orb this attack just to test it. The Minion Prince has gone up another level, and the dragons are just like cannon fodder. If anything, your Seeking Air Mines are going to matter more than ever, because you don't want the Seeking Air Mines to hit the dragons. You want to try and get the Minion Prince, but I just don't know how you can. Oh, dude, this is just... this feels wrong. It's just even more DPS. It just makes spam even stronger. It's not a very good anti-spam hero equipment. That Minion Prince just two-shot the air defense. Love that for the game. I actually think this is going to get quite close on time, but that's not what we're really here for. And thankfully, the Minion Prince is actually going to help with time, given that he's just outputting the most ridiculous amount of damage. I mean, what the... that Ricochet cannon just gets melted. Alright. I'm not going to pretend this is like a broken hero equipment, right? Ladies and gentlemen, it's not broken. It's just strong. It just makes the best thing about the Minion Prince, which is the ludicrous amount of damage it can do. It just gives it so much more damage. It can make it more vulnerable, and maybe we'll see that happen. And maybe people will go with the Dark Orb and Henchman Puppet because it's safe and you know it works. But if you want insane damage, this Dark Crown's going to do it. Is it something that I think you have to throw your oars into? No. No, honestly, I don't think it's like the most game-breaking hero equipment we've got. It's not like when we had the Spiky Ball come out, which was like, you need to upgrade this. It wasn't like, I don't know, even the Fireball, but I know a lot of people didn't like that when it came out. Well, it's not like the Giant Gauntlet, right? When that came out. It's just, it's really good, and it's nice with the Minion Prince. It doesn't feel that epic to me, though. It doesn't feel like a cool ability. It's just nice. Let me know if you guys disagree with my take on this. Maybe you've seen some epic ways to use this, and we will definitely get to doing that, because I'm sure there's ways you can turn this into nice recall charges, but you can't start with it at the start, right? You need a whole bunch of troops to die, and generally recalls are done at the start of the attack. So let me know down below if you've got any crazy ways to use this. I will read every comment, but for now, hopefully you enjoyed this sneak peek, and hopefully you enjoy the event, which should be starting in the next day or two.